Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another week of racing. Yes, it's Division 1, and I am back in the comms box. I feel like I've not been here for a while with Division 1. Unfortunately, Andy is away. He's moving house. We wish him all the best in the UK. But I'm joined by a new man in the comms box. He's done a few bit of comms and that, but we know him in the Red Bull in the Division 3, and we also know him as a man that runs ragged around with all the team principals. It's Mr. Squash. Josh, mate, how you going?
Hey, mate. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Lovely to be here on this beautiful, wet, Hungary qualifying. I don't know whether we're going to have a wet race, but conditions stay the same. It could be a very interesting race ahead.
Yes, it's going to be a very interesting one. I'm just about to go over to that now and let everyone know what the go is. So there we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You're probably going to say, yep, there's not many on the grid. Well, unfortunately, no shows. We go ahead anyway. It is unfortunate, but we're still going to get 14 people racing, and we're still going to get some good racing. But in these wet conditions is going to be very interesting for Hungary, which is one of those tracks where it's extremely difficult. You know, it's all about quality. So we'll have to wait and see how we go. But on the grid tonight, we've got Miles Mellett in the Williams, we've got Boad Stag in the McLaren, Kalki in the Mercedes, Jono as we had the sprint finish last week and the photo finish between Steg and Jono. Can we see another one tonight? We'll have to wait and see. Dragon has been signed, but this is his last race as a reserve driver for the Alpine. So congratulations to Dragon, known as Ink. Watanabe in the Aston Martin, lost Yuki in the Williams. That is FCR Colden. A new driver, so welcome to Rush, mate, and all the best in that McLaren. Tai in the Aston Martin, G-Force Nick in the Haas, the TP of Hado in the Haas, Yuki Bear in the Merc, and you're probably wondering why is he in the Mercedes? He has moved to the dark side. He's moved to the Mercedes-Benz garage there from Haas after a mutual agreement with the TP. And you're probably thinking, are you mad? Well, Hado must be mad because they're both on track tonight. So are we going to have some drama between these two? That's going to be the question. Then we've got Sammy278. Welcome back to Rush, my friend. And then we've got Joke Attack, known as AKA Chandlers. And then unfortunately, we would have had 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, but they didn't show up. So we are going to continue without them. Over to you, Josh.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race tonight, I think. We've got our first couple of laps in. We've got a mix of wet and inters tyres on the grid at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how these kind of shape up as this track. You know, there's not too much of a dry line so far tonight, and it looks very slippery. I would almost say that I'm glad I'm not racing. But no, we've got some laps coming in. Chandler's with a fantastic lap, 2 seconds faster than current P2 in Watanabe. So I think these wet conditions actually are going to separate the men from the boys tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. It depends obviously on the strategy they've gone to. We've seen a few on those intermediate tyres at the moment, and then we've only got 3 on the wets at the moment. Look at the conditions there. A few little puddles starting to form. But as we know, we've driven Quali Hungary this season. This is the first time for Division 1. We've driven it. This is all about Quali, Josh, without a doubt.
Yeah, it absolutely is, mate. It's one of 3 or 4, like a small handful of tracks on the grid on the season that heavily reliant on qualifying. So I dare say we're going to see some very quick laps as these guys get some tyre temps and potentially we start to get a dry line. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, well, every one of them is going to go through, so they're going to have the first lap to give them a little bit of a practice, and then obviously going into Q2, it's only going to be 4 going to go out. So not really much to play for here, just a little bit of practice, which is good. Still, we're going to run with the full quality, even though it's 14. So we'll probably see these guys pretty quickly.
Yeah, we've got some yellow flags down there. Midas has lost a front right end plate, so he's been in a bit of a tangle with the wall there by the looks of things. But he's up and running again. So I did actually forget that it was full quali rather than short quali. So you know those that gone out on the wets potentially looking to save a set of inters as we progress through our qualifying.
Yes, we will indeed. And if you've got Dragon, if you can get him back in, that would be awesome, as he is just being kicked. Can we get an invite back?
Ooh,
Dragon, please.
Absolutely.
Yes, All right, guys, we're going to jump on board with Tai for a flying lap when he gets round at the moment. We've got some time setting at the moment. Chandler's on 126.758, quickest car on the track so far in that Alpine. People Snick with a 128 flat. Then we've got Hado with a 28.1 as well. So they're the top three at the moment. So really good points up for grabs tonight, with some of these drivers missing as well, which is really unfortunate to see. But it is what it is, and we're going to go ahead and continue. And Jono is out of Quali, so at the moment, hopefully he isn't retired. No, he's just called it. He just doesn't want to go any further, so we're going to wait and see there. Watanabe, he's retired as well, so we'll probably see a very, very quick 11 minutes disappear very, very quickly here going into Q2, as all these guys are going to go through. A little bit of practice for him, and Chandler's sets a quicker time, even quicker than it was beforehand, with a 126.272. G-Force Nick 28.002. Halo with a 28.134. We'll probably see those guys retire in a second. Kalki coming into the pits now. We've got Calden there in P5, doing better than his teammate tonight of Steg. And this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be massive for McLaren. Where can they finish tonight? Where can they finish? Can they do better than Mercedes? This is what they've missed most of this season. Another Division 1 driver, and they've got it tonight, and so have Mercedes. So it's all to play for tonight for those two teams, but there's still other things to play for with the other teams as well. As we've got Tai about to start his lap, coming down into first corner, coming down into the second corner, dropping onto the 50. Love a good ad break. Yep, well, you can press the blue button and get subscribing, and you can get removing those ads, my friend, removing those ads. Then we've got Tai coming up the hill in those wet, pouring conditions. A little bit of a dry line there. Thank you very much for the follow there. IRT Caden coming around into the corner there, getting moved onto the curb. Left-hand side, keeping it steady as possible. Coming into the double chicane, onto the right, onto the curb, then onto the left. Keeping it nice within track limits. It's very good to see Tai back. It's been a while since he's been back. Now coming through into sector 2, keeping it nicely, staying in that dry line. Does not want to get into that wet line at the moment. Keeps it within track limits. Goes a little bit far to the left. Drops into the 50, rides the curb on the exit. One more or two more corners to go. Here we go. Really sharp hairpin. This is the worst hairpin of the track. Pushes over to the left-hand side. Get as much traction as he can. Really fighting that car, coming round that pit exit there, pit entry, and crosses the line and sets a 126.292. Very impressive lap there from Tai, and we'll be happy with that in the Aston job.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just having a little bit of problems. Dragon isn't showing up on my friends list for some reason, all of a sudden. Are you able to just have a quick look through SJ and see if you can wait, please?
Look for you, mate. It might be under Ink or Dragon. We'll have to wait as Yuki Bears retire.
It should be under Dragon.
Nope.
Sorry, Dragon, we are working on it, mate.
No, not there. Sorry, do apologise, guys. Trying to get through these. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Which one is it? I'll invite all of them. It's 2 dragons. I'll invite one of them. It's going to be one of them, so hopefully one of them does join. Hopefully the other one, hopefully it's not the wrong one there. But there we go. Vortex Steg, known as Alpha Gully, does the 125.953. I've invited them. Hopefully one of them works. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Vortex Steg, they're taking P1. None of those dragons. Really? Oh. Is it none of them? Like, what?
Don't you love this game?
There he is. It is, Plugger. What are you playing at?
Oh, okay, cool.
Don't do that to me. It was one of them. It had to be one of them. Hopefully it's the right one.
I'm going to give him a heart attack, Plugger.
I know. Thanks for that. 7 minutes and 33 seconds to go. Vortex Steg with a 125.953. Chandler's in P2 and Tai in P3. And we probably will see every single person retire. 31 people tuning in. And Tai's was tired. Then we'll probably get everyone else tired as well. But yeah, pouring conditions. And we've only got one driver on the wet compound tyres, and that's Sammy at the moment.
Yeah, I think, all of these guys have actually set a lap, and I think they've got to realise that they are going to go through. So, if they're done with their laps, they can actually retire and with a guarantee of making it through to Q2. So there's no need for any more laps as long as unless they're out there trying to get a feel for the conditions.
Yeah, can do. Can get a feel out there for the conditions. Safe to retire, but yeah, it is. Everyone is safe to retire. Yep, more than welcome. Like everyone's set times, you can go straight through. Push this through to 6 minutes, but it's up to them. It's up to them what they want to do at the moment. But what do you feel that we're going to see in Q2? We're going to have to really see some times pushing here. 1:25.953 is the quickest time so far, and is the only time in the 25s.
Yeah, that's rapid, especially in these conditions. And I'm just on board with him at the moment, and he looks very squirmy on that rear end as he's trying to get some temperature into those tyres as he goes around for another flyer. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens as we move through the rest of quali and sort of, I guess, moving into Q2, there's only the pressure for 4 people that are going to get knocked out. So these guys are going to want to have a good feel for the conditions. Set a one, maybe, if they're quick enough, they could be a one and done as we go. So we'll see. But we do have. It looks as though the rain actually has backed off here. We've got a dry line that's formed through on most of this track. So, we could see the times tumble sort of towards the back end of Q2.
Yeah. No, it's going to be really interesting. And there you obviously the 2 McLarens in P1 and P8. Obviously the 2 Alpines in P2 and P10. And then obviously the 2 Williams in P5 and P12. So very interesting times.
Goes faster again. Look at that. He's into the 124s.
So
it looks as though he's come out to actually give his teammate a tow. So they're practicing this, moving into the back end of Q2 and Q3 by the looks of things.
Yeah, have every right to. But obviously, I reckon we'll see everyone else retire now, and the McLarens will just come in after this lap. So we'll see if Calden is going to do a lap. Well, he's actually on a lap at the moment. We'll just see if he's improving. Let's have a look. Going in that sector 1. 2.5 temps up already up on his time. So Dragon has retired, so it's just these 2 and the Williams. We'll probably see the Williams retire and the Alpine, but let's have a look at the moment. So Calden is up on his time, and he was 2.5 temps. That would have put him up to P6 currently, or P7, sorry. Let's have a look here. Let's see if he's going to improve. Look at that dry line. Ooh, really testing that car.
It is slippery out there, isn't it?
It is. He's definitely giving that dry line, but he's definitely testing that car. He's 9.5 tenths up. He's 9.5 tenths up.
Wow.
Sector 2. Wow, that's a 26.
And that goes to show the track conditions have improved insanely. And I think, like I said earlier, I think we'll see that continue to happen as we move into Q2 and then further into Q3. So we'll see. We will see what happens here. 3.5 minutes. Jumps up into P5, a 1:26.7. Great lap.
Yeah, good start there for the McLarens. P1, P5, but we'll have to wait and see what they can do in Q2. Minus is going to give himself a little bit of another go there on an out lap, and probably a little bit of frustrations for the rest of the guys, thinking, why don't they retire? But this is all good practice for them, really. Obviously, Minus feeling that he wants to go a little bit quicker. All going to go through, so don't worry, as long as you don't retire or hit the wall. We've got Calden, who looks like to be coming in, and we'll also have Votex Steg, who is on a lap. He's actually quicker in Sector 1, going into Sector 2 now. I'm just keeping an eye out on that time. Let's see if he's going to improve. Let's have a look. It's called practice, Plugger. They want to practice. They obviously, if these are the conditions going into the race, they want to do as much practice as they can, and they want to see how quick they are. There's Chandler's.
The other thing as well, actually, when you're on the inters, it can take 2 or 3 laps to get those tyre temperatures up as well. Albeit they don't need to be practicing at this point in time, but doing those 2-3 runs on inters in a quali session can actually really bring your tyre temperatures up to speed and help your lap times.
There we go. Look at that.
Faster again. A 1:24.1.
Yes, look at that. McLaren 1, 2.
Alright, they've got to be happy with that.
They will be happy with that. Chandler's still sitting in the pit.
Looks like we've got Chandler's coming out, actually. Chandler's.
Trying,
yeah, he's out on track. He's coming out on an outlap, so.
He's going to practice as well. Oh, we've got 2 minutes. We won't see any changes here, guys, so just tune in and just let us know what's going on. But if you are with us, we've got 29 people tuning in tonight.
There you go. Caden's gone faster again.
There you go. Look at that. 25.
Didn't realise he jumped up into P2.
25.9 and a 24.1. Thank you very much, henchman. Welcome, mate. How you going? Welcome to the chat. 34 people tuning in. Thank you very much. Q1 so far. Everyone is going to go through, so do not worry about that. We are going to have Q2. Oh, minus. Be careful. Get on the curb. Go into the pits and into your 20 there. You don't want to be doing that, mate. You want to be finishing that up. But we have round number 7 at Hungary tonight. Tomorrow night we've then got Division 2 and Division 4. Division 4 starting up first at the lovely Zandvoort. And then we've got Division 2 straight after that. So tonight it is all about Hungary. We are finishing up on Q1. If you have tuned in with us, look at that. You're seeing the orange papaya at the front with P1 and P2. And the Alpine of Chandler's in P3 at the moment. With a dry track, it definitely has dried up there. So we're going to see Chandler's have a go on the dries. And Josh, I'll let you take this one away on board Chandler's.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a toe down that first that pit straight there, so we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't get held up here by Alpha Gully. It's actually be a really good sort of, I guess, marking point for Chandler's as we sort of go around turn 4 there. Getting up into that fast left-hand corner. So easy to invalidate on the exit here. Cuts that inside curb beautifully. Well within the track limits. Early onto the power. Coming up into the trickiest chicane of the season, I think. Those curbs make it very difficult to keep the power, get the power down on early. Utilising the track limits as we head through the back end of Sector 2. Coming up into one of my favourite sectors of the entire season. Third gear, utilising the curb to get the car rotated. Very nice. So patient, got to be so patient on the accelerator coming around there and into the last turn. Again, being patient to get the power down, start to squeeze it on slowly and running up to the line. Let's see how he goes. He improved. Well done. It was a good lap.
Good job. Good job. Well, there we go. If you are tuning in, we are going into Q2 now. This is where the interviews will happen. See who goes through into Q3. But we should have every single person on track should be going through into Q2. Some interesting times there, though. It was really good. Lost to a guy on 4-lap older tyres. Okay. It looks like we're going into it. Lost the standings there. Didn't give us the standings. Just went straight into it.
Yeah, they didn't.
It's all right. Yeah. I've got it live anyway, so it's fine. Got the results live. But there we go. We got dry Quali 2, and this is where it's going to be. Let's have a look at the moment. What we're looking at. Who is on dry? Everyone's winters. So we're looking for. Looks like Quali.
Yeah.
Oh, softs.
Here we go. They're starting to see those beautiful red ringed tyres appearing on their cars here. Maybe the track or the game thinks that it could be a drying track, and that could be potentially why we are seeing a couple of drivers go out there on some inters so far. There's definitely still water out on the track though, SJ. I've just jumped on board with Tai, and very, very dangerous to be out there on slicks. If you miss that racing line by even half a metre, you are going to find your way into a barrier somewhere. As evidenced very quickly there by Tai as he touched that wet patch. So it's going to be a balance here, mate, because you know we've got this dry line and these inters don't exactly love these kind of conditions. They'll start to get hot, so they're right on that switchover point between the softs and these inters. So I think the play here for these guys is that they're going to need to wait until the end of this session to set their fastest laps, but you know, get out there, get those laps in, these early laps in to get a feel for the conditions.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually loving this. Because you just don't know what this is going to be. You know, you don't know how damp that track is. You can see a wet patch on the left-hand side in some areas, and then you can see the dry line. So this is going to throw a little bit of a spanner in the works because you can see there now that it is a little bit damp. So are them soft compound tires going to be the ones to watch out for? As we will ride
Yeah.
on board with Tai. So Tai at the moment is on the intermediates going into turn one. Let's see if his grip is pretty good. And I'll let you keep an eye on a soft run, and we'll keep moving back and forth. But yeah, we're only seeing 2 on the soft compound tyres at the moment, as we're seeing someone go miles off there. And that was Dragon? Or no, that was
See, our lead soft runner who's come out and done an outlap's just ducked back into the pits. So I think it's probably too early for these dry tyres, SJ.
Well, there you go. Throws a spanner in the works. Look at those conditions. It looks quite muggy out there at the moment as well. So, track has been deceiving and has deceived a few of these drivers, Josh. That's all I've got to say. On Q2, 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got an Alpine round. Oh, we got Chandler's on.
I think he jumped off track to let a driver on a hot lap through. So he's done well to get out of the way there. I think he's just waiting here as we've got the Merc coming through. Yuki Bear on his outlap, so Chandler should be okay to get back underway. And who have we got behind him? Alright, so we got Midas.
Yeah, Tai. He sets the pedigree there with 1:23.344. That is a lot quicker than Q1. Obviously,
it's much quicker. We're almost a second faster. Yes. Yeah, I think our prediction was right there, SJ, in that the track is drying, but not quickly. So that's why we've still got everyone's except Watanabe on these intermediate tyres.
Yes, this is going to be very, very interesting moving forward because, these conditions are going to change. And if this track does start to get very, very dry, we're going to see those soft compounds or even maybe see some mediums as well. We'll have to wait and see there, as we do see no one on the softs yet, apart from Watanabe. He's on the soft. Kalki's on the wets. It's definitely not wet compound tyres at the moment, as Tai does go the quickest with 23.344. Steg goes at 23.730. Jono with a 23.742. So hardly anything between Steg and Jono. And then obviously G4 7.5 tenths. 8 or 9 tenths off Jono there as well. And the Ferrari's doing a great job in P5 and P3. What about the other McLaren of Caldin? What's he going to do? He's now just about to start. Good to see the Williams moving out the way. Good to see these guys getting out the way. There's no one on soft tyres yet. So we're all doing a lap on the intermediates, Josh. They're going to be careful. They don't want to be messing around, get it wrong, and then waste a set of tyres. They want to try and set the time, set the pedigree, set what they've got to set. And this is going to make it very interesting, right? Because everyone at the moment is on the intermediates, right? So these times, when they get onto the softs or in the mediums, this grid going into Q3, it could be anyone. We have got no idea. As there we go, Chandler's is the first one onto mediums, hasn't gone out yet. Watanabe's put a set of softs on. He's still in the pits. This is going to change like musical chairs very quickly when they get onto the softs.
Absolutely. I think, if they're looking for 2 runs now, hoping that the track's dry enough, they'll be coming out soon, as Caden just runs deep into that final, the heavy braking zone there, unfortunately. Cost himself a lot of time. So, pushing the limits, pushing the boundaries, and, he very nearly hit that wall there. G-Force Nick has retired. What's going on there?
He's out on track. He's lost it on track. I'm just trying to
Looks like Chandler's and he have come together. Chandler's is facing the wrong way. Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to come out in front of the McLaren. Yeah, that could have been nasty. Alright, well, we may see that pop through in the reports there. It's hard to say, but Chandler's is out there on those medium tyres there, SJ, and I don't imagine they would be feeling very fun at the moment.
No, it just seems that it's still a little bit too damp. But if he can try and get round and get those tyres up to temp or get a little bit weird, then we'll see what happens. But he's going to have to be quick, though, because he's got a Haas and a Merc right behind him. That is Hado, who is on a lap on those intermediates. And then he's also got the Mercedes behind him, which is looking likely to be Kalki. So, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
You want to be getting out of the way.
Well, he got out of the way, but not intentionally. He's just put the nose of that car back into the wall. I just... watching him struggle around this track has just really confirmed what we were suspecting, is that it's just not dry enough at this point in time.
This is going to be very interesting. Challenges is having the wheel issue. Oh, no. Steg goes pole with a 1:23.156 currently at the moment. Tai has set a time on the soft compound tyres. Or no, he hasn't. He's probably just got onto them. Jono is on an outlap on them soft compound tyres. So we're going to keep an eye on Jono because he is going to be our first one. Kelky's on the wets. And he's going into the pits. Good to see. Otherwise, they're in serious trouble. Hado is on inters. He's going again. We're going to stay on board with Jono. Jono, right? We're going to jump on board with Jono. And I'm going to let you take this one away, Josh, when he gets around on his full lap there. Nick, mate, if he has got in the way of you, report it. He will be done for impeding. So I know it's not what you want, mate. But John is actually invalidated already on his outlap. Hopefully he doesn't invalidate moving forward. But here you go, Josh. We're just waiting for the last corner. Jono is on the softs. So he is going to be the one to watch out for, see where the pace is at, and see if that track has dried up.
Absolutely, mate. I think this is going to be benchmark lap for us. We're going to understand what the track's doing at this point in time as he's now flat stick down this pit straight. It always feels amazing when you get that exit right coming out of that last corner, and it sets your entire straight up, braking at the DRS line there. Oh my goodness, it still looks slippery. I still think this isn't going to be competitive against the inters. We swing into turn 3 here. We'll see. 4th gear, very touchy on that accelerator. 5th, and he's actually going straight off the track. So yeah, absolutely. This track has not dried, despite looking dry, as we have Hado go fastest on a set of inters. 1:22.5. That's a great lap, Hado. Jono is struggling to get this power down. Sector 2 just is not fun in these conditions, so this will be an interesting sort of finish to this lap here for him. Very just tiptoeing around Sector 2. That back end stepping out beautifully. Beautifully caught there, Jono, but mate, this just doesn't look like a fun lap to be driving. It actually looks like Sector 3 is the driest of the conditions on the track at the moment, SJ. So, and yeah, look at that. He's abandoned the lap. He's coming straight back in, and he's going to go and throw those soft tyres in the bin as far away as possible from that Ferrari garage. And I would not be surprised if we see him come back out on a set of inters. That just did not look like fun.
Yeah, that looked a bit of how you going moments there. Obviously 3 times on the curb there, nearly completely losing it. Really unfortunate. But like I said, this is really all Sammy's gone into the wall there. And hopefully he gets out the way. He's got cars behind him. You want to get out the way. And there, DRS is enabled. DRS is... This is weird. This is interesting. This is making this very interesting. DRS is enabled. So... has it just come out at the right time for these guys? 4 minutes to go. Are we going to see some last-ditch laps being put in there? As I'm on board Lost Yuki at the moment, the DRS is enabled. He's coming round. We have had some time set, though, I think. There's only one time set. We'll have to double-check. But Lost Yuki is about to set a time. And he's got a lot of ERS. Now, who's coming into the... They're all coming in after DRS is enabled, so this is going to throw a massive spanner in the works on this quali. I've got no idea how this is going to go.
They've got tyres to burn, though, because we had a wet Q1. They've got that extra set of softs there, so those that have come out and done a sight lap on those softs certainly have a fresh set of softs to use, as I've just watched Yuki Bear just drive off the track on that turn 5-6. It's still... just doesn't look like the track is gripped up yet, despite DRS being active. So this is going to be an interesting lap to see where he sits time-wise. He hasn't invalidated, but he's still pushing. He's still burning that battery, and wouldn't surprise me. He's just popped a purple sector 2, so wouldn't surprise me if we might see him dive back into the pits, maybe try and get out and get the best of the track conditions right here at the end of Q2.
Yeah, and I'm watching on board with Chandler's at the moment. Chandler's is in the Alpine.
There you go. Yuki's
purple. Chandler's has done purple.
Yeah, Yuki's just dived back into the pits as well, SJ, so I was right. He's going to come back out right at the end of this quali session. It would not surprise me if we see all 13 drivers come out right at the end of this session.
Tough. I think we're going to see Chandler's. He may even take pole position because he is getting a move on. He's done Q. That's sector 2 in the purple. So it's sector 1 and sector 2 in the purple. He's got 73%. He's not really using much of that ERS. He'll probably go again. No, he's going to actually finish this time. He's going to finish the time and he'll probably go again, and then he'll get the tyres up to temp. So he's probably gone for a little bit more fuel. He's going to cross the line, probably a 20. There you go. So Chandler takes P1. He'll go again. Keep an eye out now. He has set the pedigree. He is 2 seconds quicker than everyone. And this is going to be very, very quick, Josh. There is still Hado, Steg, Tai, Jono, Yuki, Sammy, Lost Yuki, Midas, Calden, Dragon, Kalki, and Watanabe still set times, but they've only got 2 minutes. So this is going to be very interesting. And at the moment, Watanabe, Kalki, and Dragon and Calden are all going out of...
Yeah, here they come. Here comes the processional out of the pit lane, SJ. They've all waited for this track to dry. Chandler's has recharged his battery, and I would dare say he's got enough fuel in there to go again. He's got his banker lap in on that on the same set of tyres, and the track conditions are only improving. So it wouldn't surprise me if we drop down into the 18s here, mate, as this track has dried up quite significantly.
Yeah, I think Chandler's has done a great job here. He's gone out on extra fuel. He's already set a banker. He's already set the time. So now it is all about this lap for him. But he's got 14 other cars. Yeah, 13 other cars right behind him, ready to go, as every single car is out on the track. And we know in Hungary, it's a very small track. So having this amount of cars out on track, and he's letting... Oh, it's interesting. Oh, he's going to get the toe.
Here we go. So
his teammate. Oh, Alpine have not... Oh, they've done a great job here. Has he got...
I think this is actually very smart, because I don't think his time was going to be good enough to get him through. And so using his teammate here to tow him, who's on a fresh set of tyres, they're getting the best of both worlds here.
Clever.
So smart play there by Alpine.
It is, but keep an eye
Kudos to their engineers.
Keep an eye out on the McLarens. They were very, very quick on the Inters in Q1. So what can they do on the softs? That's going to be the question as everyone is coming around now. So we will be able to find out if these guys are going to take pole position. But at the moment, Chandler's has got purple in Sector 1. Let's look at Dragon. Dragon at the moment 2.5 tenths quicker on this time, so he'll be the one that we'll be looking at the moment. But this quali has been so spicy.
Oh, there you go. 17.9. I called the 18s. 17.9. That's a stellar lap.
That is a phenomenal lap. That track is definitely dry now. It's taken a long time for it to get dry. Let's have a look. Here we go. I think we've got Williams coming round.
Well, Midas has dived into the pits. He's done.
He's not happy.
He's not going to improve. We've got these Alpines.
Here we go.
Where are they?
Ooh, Midas.
Chandler's. There you go. Look, Chandler's is down by improving by 2.7 seconds. Great lap there. Even faster by Chandler's. Right. That track is ramped up. Let's watch the rest of these guys as they come through.
Jono's coming around, final corner. What's he going to be? Is he going to be able to knock off the top? Yes, he goes pole.
He is.
Who's next? I'm going to try. Lost Yuki goes up into P4. Then we got the Merc of Yuki. Then Tai.
15.8.
And we've got Kalki goes into P3. So Merc of P3 and P4. Calden is invalid.
Oh, would you look at that?
Oh, no,
I think we're going to lose both McLarens.
No, Calden.
We've lost both McLarens out of Q2.
We have. We have. I think we have.
That's a bit of a shock exit there.
Wow.
Just set his lap too soon. Didn't wait, wasn't patient enough, and didn't get the best of these track conditions.
That.
They've got to be kicking themselves.
Yeah. If you've not heard of drama, ladies and gentlemen, we have just lost both McLarens. The guy that is leading the championship is out of Q2. Right, so who have we got coming in? So we've got Steg to interview, and then we've got, I'll have to work out who the others was. So we've got Nick.
We've got G-Force Nick, Alpha, both McLarens, Alpha Galley and Caden, and Midas as well from the Williams.
So there's your 4.
That's exactly right, Thunder. That track ramped much more than I anticipated it to, but that was quite a shock to watch, both McLarens, including our championship leader currently as they stand, get knocked out of Q2 there.
Yeah, I'm just a bit shocked. I know I shouldn't be laughing. I know my TP would go absolutely mental. Welcome, Formula Joshy, mate. I hope you're enjoying the stream, mate. It again. For some reason, it does not like the main menu tonight. It doesn't want to show us the results. So, yeah, that is not good. Let's go, Tai. Shotgun kisses, mate. Thank you very much for the follow. That track map ramped up. Yes, it did. So we're going to see if we can get them in for a quick chat, but I don't know if they'll be coming in. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can get... No engineering. Okay. We'll have to wait and see.
Who's not being engineered?
No, McLaren's not being engineered.
Oh, Mazda must be sitting back with a beer and his feet up then.
Might be. See if I can find him. See if he's in his other server. Oh, no, there he is. Let's see if we can get Marzi in. See if we can get Marzi in, because I think that'll be interesting to hear what he's got to say, if we can get him in. I've flicked him in a message there. See if we can get him in the chat, because that'd be interesting to hear what he's got to say of what went wrong there in that quali.
Yeah.
Because that's massive. You don't normally see... we've seen some big hitters. We saw David and Paulie go out last week. We saw, obviously, myself and Crone go out of Q2 as well. And sometimes it's pretty difficult to get into Q3. But like tonight, the track has just thrown us off so much, like with the wet conditions, and then obviously going back into it tonight. It's been an interesting one, hasn't it, so far?
Yeah, absolutely. As Thunder in our comments there alluded to, the track ramp and track improvement was absolutely phenomenal to watch that there. They were 3 seconds faster than I sort of had a stab at before that, at the back end of Q2 there. So we are now on a fully dry track. Jono's just decided to dive back into the pits. He might have just come out on a used set just to double check, make sure. Maybe you got a wrong set of tyres on or something. I'm not too sure, but we've got 3 drivers that are on their lap here, SJ. Lost, Yuki, Tai, and Hado are all on these initial flying laps. So it'll be interesting to see the benchmark that these boys can set for Div 1 tonight.
Definitely, and I'm actually putting in a prediction, which is going to be it's going to throw, I think, a lot of people off this one. It's got 5 minutes to go, so there you go. Who's going to take pole? So there you go. Out of everyone that you see on screen, guys, so get your votes in. And, this is going to be a really interesting quali, because I still don't think that track is still, at the temp that these guys probably want. You see still a bit muggy out there at the moment. But who is going to take pole position tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Kalki, Jono, Dragon, Watanabe, Lost, Yuki, Tai, Hater, Yuki Bear, Sammy, or Chandler's. And we've got someone coming into the chats. I don't know, that was someone jumping in. Who was jumping in? Who was jumping in there? Someone was going to say hello. Who jumped in?
All good. Might have joined by accident.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see what happens there. But someone might have joined in by accident. But now, all good, no drama. Hopefully we do get Marzi out. Marzi, would be great to hear you come in, mate. See what you got to say. What actually happened there, because that is massive in this race going forward to tonight. But Q3, 8 minutes to go. We've got some time set up there. And compared to the 17s, we now got 113.916. Dragon with a 114.159. No, he's been removed. Now Kalki's gone up there. So we've got both Mercedes in the P2 and P3, 114.039 and a 114.159. The Merc are dominating again tonight, but due to the unfortunate situation there of McLaren. Now, one thing I'm going to talk to you about this, Josh. Hungary is one of those tracks that you need to try and qualify P1 at, because it is all about strategy, because it's very difficult to make overtakes here. So...
Yeah, actually, we've just had our TP join. Marzi, how are you, mate? We'll come back to that, SJ. Good, mate, good. How are you tonight, mate?
Yeah, so far so good.
That's good. Just step us through what's happened there. It's a bit of a shock exit for both drivers, including our championship leader. Do you have any insight for us?
It is, mate. I was going to say this track is it's a bit weird because obviously the start of Q2 has been a bit slippery. A couple of boys got out on the softs and tried a few laps. We were watching what they were doing. Obviously, it didn't go to plan. Everybody back in the pits. It's a weird sort of situation with this game, because it's wet, and then boom, it's ready for soft straight away. There is no in between period. So caught us out. It's fine. I think Alpha Gully went a bit early in front of everybody. He didn't want to get involved into any traffic at the end.
That appears to have caused him, unfortunately.
Caden had a bit of a slip in turn 3, so he didn't have a good lap on the last lap. So, yeah, both out. And like I said, don't worry, boys. Race is long. We've still got 30-odd laps in front of us. Should be right.
Plenty of racing. Although, are you a little bit concerned given that there's to overtake here?
Obviously, I just want him to have a clean race, bring the car whole, and, if we do get a damaged car, then that creates a whole new problem. But, we do have a reserves in who's a bit nervous, probably hasn't raced too many league races. But he is quick, so I'm watching what he can do. Obviously, we all know what Alpha Gully can do. It'll be interesting to see. I think he just made this race very interesting, starting from, P12 or 13, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, I think you're right there, mate. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, but obviously the grid is stocked with talent, so it'll be a race to watch, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's going to be good. I am looking forward to watching this one unfold in front of us.
Oh yeah, me too. Well, enjoy it, boys. I'll speak to you after the race then.
All right, all the best, mate. Thanks for the chat.
No worries.
Okay, well...
SJ, are you watching John?
I am.
Yeah. How do you think this lap's going?
He's looking fast. He is one. He took it to Gully last week in Brazil. When is he going to take it this week? Obviously, we had the first ever photo finish, which was fantastic to see. He is absolutely flying going into Sector 2 now, going into Sector 3 in the last couple of corners. Sammy, his teammate in P5 at the moment. Really good job there by Sammy. Jono does this. Looks an absolute faultless lap going round to the final corner. Is he going to take pole position with a 113.916? Let's have a look. And he goes 113.7, 2 tenths quicker than Tai. And Tai is looking very fast here tonight. Really, really good to see as well. But going back to that conversation that you were talking about with the McLarens, and Marzi seems to be quite confident after what has happened with both of those guys starting at the back. Well, not at the back, but at the back in the Q2. And both Mercedes in Q3, Q4. How do you feel he feels this race is going to go when they've got a little bit of an uphill struggle as the Mercedes are in P3 and P4 at the moment?
I mean, look, looking at the pace and what we've seen so far throughout this season from Alpha Gully, in my shoes, I'd be feeling pretty confident with him there, sitting in one of my driving seats. He did allude to the fact that this is his debut for Rush. We haven't seen what he can do just yet. So, I think they're just going to be patient. They're going to have to take their time, make their moves when the move's on, rather than try to do anything. and it's important that they have a clean race from here. As we watch Hato just coming into this last corner here now, mate. He's coming around on his outlap, and here we go. Do you want to take us away for this one?
Yep, no problem. Coming down the main straight, this track is looking even drier than it was before in Q2. Here we go, coming into the first corner, very nicely done. Doing a great job, Hado, from Div 2, reserving up into P9, into Q3. He's got to be happy with this. Must be a track that he likes. But here we go, coming round into the last couple of corners here in this Sector 1, going into Sector 2 very, very shortly up the hill where we saw Hamilton, and Alonso have that massive battle and making a decision on which one was going to make the overtake. Now coming into the double chicane there, onto the right on the curb, on the left, very nicely there, quick exits there, getting onto the curb nicely. Now into Sector 2, this can be the part where you lose all of your time. Full lock to the left, now try and ease off a little bit, get as much acceleration as you can on the exit out onto the curb. Now coming down into the 50, drop onto the curb, over to the right, he's pushing that car, I'll tell you that, for the Haas driver, he's definitely pushing that, coming around the hairpin, last couple of corners, over to the left-hand side, swing it round as much as he can, trying to get as much traction down, and then full pedal to the metal across the line, and sets a 1:14.334. Not a bad lap there from Hado. Pretty impressive. Well done. And Josh is gone. Or he's on mute. He's either gone or he's on mute. So, we'll...
No, I'm here. I just realised that I've forgotten a water bottle, so I'm just filling one of those up quick.
The H2O down here, mate. Get the H2O down here. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you've just tuned in tonight watching these, we are at round number 7 at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Both McLarens not making it through into Q3, getting knocked out due to the weather conditions changing up all over the place, actually. Yellow's going in Sector 1 at the moment, but the person to watch out for at the moment is Jono, Tai, and Kalki. They are your top 3. Remember, get your votes in, guys. Get your votes in. You have voted. You think Kalki and Jono are going to take pole. No one's voted for Dragon. No one's voted for Watanabe. No one's voted for Lost Yuki and Tai. So one of these 3 are going to get it. We'll have to wait and see very, very shortly, as we've got 1 minute of quali to go, and this is going to be the interesting part. Who is going to take pole position at the Hungarian Grand Prix going into round number 7? We've got Hado, who has gone off into, well, I think he's actually just completely lost it and gone off there. Yeah, he's definitely just one of those tyres up, kicking out the way. He's going to have to be very careful because he's got a lot of cars coming around the corner now, and this is going to be the last time we see these cars coming around the corner, and we're going to jump on board with Dragon because he is the first one, and he will be the last one to cross the line. Sitting in P6 at the moment. Remember, this is his last time in the Alpine as a reserve driver. He will be driving for Kick moving forward from next week at round number 8. So congratulations to him. And mutual agreement there being dropped by Mercedes. Just a bit of breaking news as well. So, yeah, very interesting to see. We haven't seen that many drivers moving around, but there has been a few. And there's been a few insights on that, hasn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, there's been a bit of driver movement in the back end of this season with drivers coming and going. So I dare say we will see the updates sort of filter throughout the week as we sort of head into silly season. I think it's going to be a little bit different this season, but I'm excited and looking forward to seeing how it all plays out.
Oh, there's been a massive incident here between Kalki and Sammy. There's a massive accident. Hado has crashed, as you can see on the left-hand side. Drama going on there, so that's going to be something to look at there. But sorry to interrupt though, Jono. Jono goes pole position with a 1:13.542. Chana's in P2, Yuki in P3. Who have we got going across the finishing line?
I'm just on board with Tai. He's coming into that final corner. It's going to be interesting. What's he going to do? Oh, slight moment there, mate. Ooh. Oh, he puts it P3.
Yeah, nicely done. And Kalki will not finish in the top 3. Jono will take...
Look at that. I say there's less than half a tenth between our top 3 places there, SJ.
Fantastic.
How's that for close?
That is extremely close. But I'm looking at the chat. The chat's coming in. The incident between Kalki and Sammy to be investigated after the race. And why is Hado DNF'd? So, bit of drama there. Panic, mate. Thank you very much. 12 months. Subscribe for 12 months. Subscribe for 10 months at Tier 1, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Sammy, retire on track. That will be looked at by the onboard stewards there. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah,
curious to see or hear what's happened there, mate. That looked like a big accident. I was on board with Tai as that sort of unfolded.
Oh, we have a customer.
Looks like Sammy may have gotten onto the curb in that chicane there and was unable to get out of the way of Kalki. So,
sure, that will be looked at.
Unfortunately, Sammy, that 5-second grid place penalty will stand as we are not restarting our lobby.
No. So here we go. Jono, Chandlers, and Tai take your top 3. Yuki Bear, Kalki, Lost Yuki, Watanabe, Hado, Dragon, and Sammy. Big incident there at the end of Q3. So if you got your points and you put Jono, then you're going to win because congratulations, Jono takes pole position at the Hungarian Grand Prix, which Josh will be taking underway very, very shortly. And, well, that's unfortunate, isn't it, what's happened there in Q3? But we are going to get involved in this very, very shortly. And I'm sure we are going to see a lot of bumper-to-bumper action. Yeah, going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys will be setting their tyre strategies, dropping the fuel out of the car, although this is one of those tracks where it can be quite heavy on fuel if the pace is high. So, being the Div 1 boys, I think they're going to be pretty spot on with the fuel, hopefully, for their sake, because the last thing they need to be doing is running out of fuel as they come into those last few laps here, SJ. It will hurt.
Yeah, this is an interesting track. You can't really make any mistakes. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. 42 people tuning in, and we are about to get underway. Josh, take us away with it for round number 7.
We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. Nice long hold there for these boys as they get away. Looks like they've all gotten away cleanly. Not too much drama. Heading into turn 1. Couple of big lockups from Chandler's and Jono's. Chandler's challenges Jono around the outside, but slots in nicely behind him in there.
Still going side by side. Still going side by side.
Oh, Chandler's has actually got the inside there. Oh, it's going to be interesting as they head up the hill.
Great race.
Are they going to battle it out? No, Chandler's has decided to back out of that. That is one corner where on this track where you do not want to be on the outside. You will get a track limits warning if you're on the outside there. If not, be put into the wall. So here we go into the windy sector 2. They've all kept it clean. I haven't seen any contact yet so far, SJ. We come around the corner into sector 3.
Sammy and Dragon are going at it side by side.
Oh, jeez. Oh, big. Yeah, big moment there from the Ferrari driver.
Very aggressive.
And we have actually already got a break in the... Oh, no, Dragon's managed to pull that back. It is too early to be losing that DRS train. This is one of those tracks that, down this main straight, it will hurt.
It will indeed. We're seeing a few guys on the hard compound tyres there, Dragon and Chief on the hards. We're also seeing Calden. He just doesn't seem to have kick with the pack at the moment, but it is early days. 2 laps out of 35, long way to go. Remember, Gully is in P9. Keep an eye on him. He'll be the one to watch out for, leading the championship. We've got Jono leading for P2 in the championship behind him. Panic Mate, thank you very much for the subs to Netro Soul London, love it. Lunatic Demon, and thank you very much for all the comments coming in. If you have tuned in with us, we have 14 runners running and no one has DNF, which is really good to see. Some great racing, some very wheel-to-wheel racing as well. Thank you for the X sub there from Panic as well for Mr. Squeezy. And at the moment, Jono is in the lead of this race with Charlotte in P2, Yuki in P3, Tai in P4, Kalki in P5, Lost Yuki in P6, Hado in P7, Watanabe in P8, Wojciech Steg in P9, known as aka Gully, Dragon in P10, Sammy in P11, G-Force in P12, Midas Mela in P13, and Gordon in P14. Everyone will be getting points.
Yep, points all around this season, or this race rather. As we start to see, actually, these hard tyres, as we know, they are so durable in this game, but if everyone around you is on the faster tyre, it can really ruin your race. We've actually got a bit of a gap here already now between P9 and P10, and I know Dragon's on those hard tyres, and this could impact and actually have a huge impact on the rest of this race and the people behind him, as they have lost that DRS train. They really need to be working to get past Dragon whilst he's on the slower tyre. And I think it's going to take 7, 8, 9 laps or so for those hard tyres to really sort of switch and become the faster tyre. So those Sammy, G-Force, Midas and Caden all will be wanting to get past Dragon if they are on that faster tyre.
Yeah, definitely. As we've got the guys on the mediums, Toto gets very, very close to Yuki Bear. Marzi, thank you very much for the sub. We have a hype chain, ladies and gentlemen. Get amongst the chain. Chicka, chicka, chicka. Slippy Nipples. Slippy Nips. Love that name. 85. Thank you very much. Regas Racing, Thai Boy, Sparks 1544, and Master Sucks. Thank you very much, Marzi. Appreciated, my friend, making it rain like the Opera House of Rush. Yes, they are Thunderbolts. They're trying to get other people to get involved. That's why they do it. They love the support, but everyone else, if you want to press that blue button, get amongst it. They're on the hype train at the moment, level 3. Keep it going. If you are tuning in with us, we've got Jono in P1, Jared's in P2, Yuki Bear in P3, and it is a race and a half. Still a long way to go in this race. Wojciech Steg up to P7. He's made 2 spots, Josh. He is making moves already at Hungary. And who said you can't make moves?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. He needs to be on the charge here. Is fighting to hang on to the back of this DRS train at the moment, and Alpha Gully's race only gets more difficult if Hado happens to drop that DRS. So it's going to be interesting, and we actually have Caden around. What has happened? He's lost half a wing at the back of the grid there, so looks as though he's potentially gotten on a curb and paid the price. I dare say he'll be diving into the pits to get off those hard tyres and replace his wing.
Mediums.
Oh, he's on the medium, sorry, my apologies.
He'll probably, don't leave. It's still points. Just keep at it, mate. Keep at it. As Chuck Steg up into P6. Gone past Hado. Wow, this guy is motoring. And guess who he's got in front? A Mercedes of Kalki. And this will be very interesting. We've seen the battle going on at the moment. If you have tuned in and you want to know what's going on, I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea with the overalls, as that was announced later on today. So here we go, just while I'm on it at the second. And it's all in order, ladies and gentlemen. So you can thank me for that. And Josh and Shifty and Marzi. 886 points to Mercedes. 757 points with McLaren. There's a big jump still at the moment, and it's a great battle that we're seeing here. But Wojciech Steg is not messing around.
Yeah, I think Marzi would have been buying a flight to New Zealand to come over there and set you straight if you'd done it to him again this week, mate. He was so close to having conniptions over those overalls being not in order. So I think you've saved yourself a very fun conversation.
I get to stay in McLaren for another week.
That's it. You've still got your seat. So
I'll give
there's one person you don't want to annoy. Team principal. So smart move.
Correct. No, I know I was getting a bit annoyed with it after a while, but no, I'm going to do that now. But we're going to go a bit further up there. Bear into P3, a tenth and a half behind Chandler's. Chandler's doing very well. He's had some very good battles with the Mercedes guys, especially with Kalki. We'll have to wait and see how this is going to go. We've said that we're not going to see much battles going on here. It's probably all about strategy and just following the train. But Wojciech Seg is making a complete different mockery of that we thought that we would see. He is now up from P9 to P6, doing a fantastic job at the moment. Kalki in his way in that P5 position. Then you've got Tai Tai, then you've got Yuki Bear and Chandler's, and Tai Tai having a great race tonight. He's had a very interesting season so far. Been away, unfortunately. Really good to see him back and connection all sorted, which is really good. But at the moment, Jono is leading this way, and Jono doing a fantastic job since joining Rush as well. He's been having the battles with Steg, but he's on fire at the moment. He's doing a fantastic job out there in front.
Yeah, he absolutely is. It's turning into a bit of a 5-way, 6-way battle at the moment up here. Ado having dropped out of that DRS to Alpha Gully, so I imagine that he will slowly fall back towards the Aston Martin of Watanabe, and that sort of gaggle of cars there is he's not going to be dragged along by these front runners. So, aside from that, there's not much more than about 2 seconds that separate us across these top 6, SJ. So the battle is on here around Hungary.
Yes, it is indeed. And while we go back over to some comms in a sec, I'm going to give you a little bit of a background check of one of our drivers who has requested it. Yuki Bear. Yuki Bear has been with Rush for 2 to 3 seasons. Drove with the Ferrari, actually made his debut in the Ferrari, actually in Division 1. Unfortunately, went down from Division 1 to Division 2, and then took a seat in the Haas. And then, unfortunately, has now left the Haas and now gone to Mercedes under mutual agreement. Yuki, one of those drivers who is actually, even though has dropped down from Division 1, has improved massively. And really, really good to see him with us at Rush, and is actually leading the championship at the moment in Division 2. I'm just going to give you a little bit of information on that.
Yeah, he's up the order.
94 points. 94 points leading that at the moment. And it says Haas, but it will change to Mercedes. So, yeah, there's your background check.
Big moment there from Alpha Gully. Who's all but pushing Kalki around these corners here at the moment, SJ. This is going to get spicy, and it doesn't look like he's in the mood to be patient tonight, so I just hope that he can get past Kalki cleanly without any major incident as we dive onto lap 9 here.
Yeah, it's he is a very, very patient driver, so it'll be very interesting to see. Just by this time, the strategy could be the key here. It looks like it could be the key, as these guys, this is insane. There is, no one is out of the, well, it's only one gap. P1 to P6, all in the DRS. P7 out of the DRS, but everyone below him, Hado, up to Midas, all in the DRS. Excuse me.
Caden brings up the first warning of the first penalty of the night, so it's unfortunate for him not having... The most smooth of introductions to racing in Div 1 in Rush, unfortunately. Oh, is he? Okay, so he's stepped up then. Well, that's all right. But in that case, he's just got to go out there and use it as a learning opportunity as we sort of head to Zandvoort tomorrow for the rest of our week ahead.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, Josh. Tai nearly lost the back end, and that could have been curtains for the Aston Martin driver there. Yeah, really unfortunate. I'll pass that back to Josh there. Sorry, but Tai nearly lost that.
No, you're right. That's all good. I've just watching these top 6. They're all so equal on pace at the moment, but it only takes one mistake and their race could be over, SJ. So it's just watching with interest at the moment. These guys biding their time, being patient. Jono's doing a really good job out the lead there. Chandler hasn't seemed too interested to overtake him with the DRS. Quite happy just sit behind him, save his ERS, save his fuel, and go from there. So
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Same with the other 5 behind Jono, really, at the moment as well.
The G-Force Nick's down on those hards. He'll be able to go the long distance there. Very clean racing. Yes, it is, Dante. Some great racing. And this is what I mean, mate. Even got 14 on the grid. Some of the best racing that you've seen at the moment, which is really, really good to see. Jono doing fantastic at the front there. Chandler's just will not leave him alone. He just doesn't know where to move. I'm going to jump on board of the POV of Chandler's. I can't spend any points, but I own Twitch, so there you go. So I get away. But we do have a yellow with Calden.
Oh, full course safety.
Calden's lost it.
I wonder what's... he's...
Lost his front wing.
Yeah. Yeah, he lost it coming around. Maybe he's accidentally clipped that pit wall. It does stick out just a little bit, and that little lapse of concentration may have cost him that front wing there, unfortunately. So I dare say the pit lane is going to be very, very busy here, SJ. These guys, all on the mediums, will be straight in there and throw them off the car and onto the durable set of hards as we move into the back half of this race.
Yeah, no, it's it's a free pit stop, as Dante was saying in the chat. Very unfortunate there for what some of these guys are going to do. This is going to change up everything here because Yuki's in the pits, Kalki's in the pits. He's going to chop Kalki down to P8. Oh no, Mercedes not going to like that. Steg now drops up to P5, so he makes the spot on Kalki. That has gone to a plan there. To a T. Shops
Absolutely
into P5. Now got Tai to deal with. No change at the top 4. Only changes Steg to Kalki. And I'm just going to look if there's any more changes there. Yep, Sammy 6 places. Watanabe losing 2. Lost Yuki losing 4. Nick staying where he is. Midas staying where he is. Dragon losing 4. And Calden still has another opportunity to go again. But not enjoying this track as it is. Alpha overtaking in pit lane. Alpha?
Ooh, that could be interesting, Plugger.
I mean Alpha. Alpha. Explain.
Alpha Gully.
Oh, really? Oh, that'll be interesting.
Unless it was because Kalki got held behind Yuki, which was very likely, given that they were very, very close on the track when that safety car's come out. So, okay, well, it'll be up to Kalki to put a ticket in for that one. I didn't catch it. Did you, SJ?
No, I haven't seen it on stream, so I can't say anything. But we'll see. We'll see if that's been reported or not, but it's coming in the chat, which is quite interesting. We'll see what Dante's got to say on that. But at the moment, if you have tuned in with us, we've got the safety car coming out due to the incident there with Calden at the back. But yeah, Jono in P1, Charles in P2, Yukibet in P3, Wojciech Steg in P4, Kalki in P5, Hado in P6, Sammy in P7, Dragon going back into the pits off those mediums. A little bit of damage. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what we've got here. Front wing. No front wing coming off. Just getting on to fresh mediums. Interesting. And Calden down there in P14 will not be lapped, so he will have another opportunity of this way. 41 seconds though, he's going to have to get a motor on. But every single car on the hards, apart from Nick and Dragon. Are we going to see another pit stop here, or are these hards going to be able to go to the end?
I think the hards will go to the end unless there's another safety car, sort of in 15, 16 laps. But the age-old saying, safety cars breed safety cars, very true. So... fingers crossed there's no incidents as we get sort of towards the restart here as Calden starts to catch up. So I think, SJ, these hard runners will be planning no more pit stops to the end. These guys on mediums will be forced to stop again because they just will not do more than about 10 laps here.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes moving forward. But yeah, I don't know how it's going to go. It's going to be a very interesting one. Because now those tyres are going to be very, very slow. So yeah, I don't know. What's your thoughts? Like, are we going to see some? Are we going to see some serious overtaking? Are we going to, is anyone going to go for a gamble? Like, what's the plan? Do you think?
I think it's going to be dictated by safety cars here as we go green again, mate. Safety cars just come in. We are under green racing conditions.
Well, there we
Yeah,
go.
so sorry to come back to your question. I think there won't be many more pit stops. It'll be safety car dependent to see a change up in strategy. Hopefully, sort of no issues as we get underway. Sort of around this first lap, we start to get that field spread again. It'll be interesting to see how this sort of plays out moving into the middle part of this race.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult on these hards. They're going to take a little bit of time to warm up, and we could see a few little penalties popping up as well because, obviously getting those tyres warmed up. So pushing the car a little bit too much may not be able to get that turning ability that you're needing. But Jono's done a great start. He's got 5.5 tenths gap there to Chandler's. Chandler's following very, very close with Yuki, and I think some of these guys, I don't know if they'll go for the moves later on in the race, or they will just stay with each other and try and just get maximum points here. They're in, some of these guys are in real good position. You've got Mercedes in P3 and P5, Steg now in the P4. Haydo in a great position in P6 at the moment. He's trying to stay with Kalki in that second gap. I don't think he's going to do it. No, he's actually lost that DRS there. He's going to burn it to get back into it. But yeah, you can definitely tell that the guys have got pace out in the front there. And Haydo is going to have every single car behind him trying to push on here as Nick into P9 there. And Haas doing a good job there in P9 and P6, but not at the moment. Haydo is the only car out of the DRS as Colden is trying to hold on, but he's the only one with a penalty with 3 seconds. And Jono is still in the lead, as I spoke to. Tie time.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you took the words out of my mouth. I said you've spoken too soon. Tai's just made a liar of you there, SJ. But there's Haydo seems to be having real issues. Unfortunately, he's got a very quick driver in Sammy, not far behind him as well. So a few gaps here, a few DRS breaks. I think Sammy will want to be pushing past Haydo as quickly as he can and try and push to get back into that DRS of Kalki there.
Well, yeah, his teammate is on those mediums. GeForce Nick is on those mediums, and you can see he is a little bit quicker than Watanabe on those hards at the moment. But the biggest surprise to me is Tai all the way down into P12 at the moment from where he was from the beginning. So really unfortunate to see him. We know that he's got the capabilities of getting through the grid. But so far, so good. Some great racing by everyone. Great overtake there from Tai up into P11. Got that caught in the camera. Lovely job. And then we got Chandler's still staying in that P2 position behind Jono at the moment. And just biding us time. 15 laps out of 35 going back down the back. And Yuki's lost out there to Tai making up 2 spots already. So going from P12 to P10. So he's one to watch out for. Driver of the day goes around the outside of his teammate. Are they going to make the move? No, they're going to stay within each other at the moment. But I reckon we will see Montenegro move out the way as Tai has definitely got the pace. As here we go. Tai really pushing his teammate at the moment. When is he going to make the move? That's going to be the question. I reckon we're going to see it here. He's going to move over to the right-hand side and make the move. No, Montenegro's going to hold that position for the time being, and it will be on the main straight, I think. Good job by Keebon Aston Martin at the moment. P9 and P10. Oh, and we've got Calden round again in the yellows.
Yeah.
Any damage to...
Just ran very, very wide there, but he's still moving, which is good. So...
Here we go.
Oh, okay. For the first time, actually, Chandler's has just pushed into the lead under DRS.
Jono's going to come back.
Can Jono hold it? Looks like there's been contact there between Jono and Chandler's.
I don't know.
Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute. What happened there? He's back. I think that... That might have just been lag. He's right there. That confused us all. I'm glad he's racing. So on our screens, it looked like a little bit of lag there.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Tai has gone to P9. Has gone to P9, but he's actually he lost Yuki's gone into P10, and Watanabe's gone into P11. So they would have been P9 and P10. So Watanabe's lost out. It's unfortunate. But two driver of the days for me.
Hey, little lamb.
At the moment, currently, would be Tai and Steg if he gets that penalty removed. We'll have to wait and see because Steg doing a great job from where he was earlier. But we'll have to wait and see. Still early days to go, and you get your votes in as well. Is Jono going to make another move on Chandler's? Is Yuki going to even make a move? Is Steg going to make a move on Yuki? What's going to happen going down this main straight? Everyone's got DRS. Jono going to go on the right-hand side. A little bit of late braking. Ooh, Chandler's goes the long way. Great race between these two here. Really, really good to see. Jono on the left or right? No, he's gone on to the left. No, he's open, taking him. Yep, he's kept that position. And very cleanly done there. And I reckon we'll see that again on lap 18. And we'll probably see that
I think you might be right, SJ. The fastest way that these guys can get around this track is by DRS sharing, pushing when you're your ERS while you're behind, and just DRS swap. The only danger for these two out the front there is that they've got Yuki Bear and Alpha Gully and Kalki right up their backsides, and at this point in the race, those boys towards the back of the train will want to be pushing forward, putting themselves into these top positions, and so it's only going to take one mistake from these front two, and we could see a big change up in the standings as they stand currently.
Yeah, definitely in the whole dynamics of another safety car as well. But I'm going to leave you on board with an onboard of Yuki Bear. Be back in about 5 minutes. 2 seconds.
Not a problem, mate. No. All right. Feel like I've been left alone in a candy store. Dad's gone out to play and I'm in comms all by myself. What's Lamb saying in the chat? Mary's little lamb. Is your fleece as white as snow? You burn in the sun, lamb. We'll turn him into a lamb chop dynasty. There's not too much happening in the way of battles at the moment. I know you guys are stuck on an onboard of Yuki. So, looks as though he actually has dropped just a little bit of pace to Chandler's there, though. He's dropped back. He's still well within the DRS zone, but not quite as close as he was just before. So maybe he and Alpha Gully have been having a couple of tussles into a couple of corners. We will see here as we head down the pit straight. Jono Red Xing, is he? Thank you there, Plugger. Seems to be okay at the moment. I mean, I can't tell from my point of view, unfortunately. We'll have to rely on feedback from the drivers and our engineers. Yes, please do pass on that message, Plugger, from Lamb. We need some action. Or tell him to get overtaken. 6 to 1, half dozen to the other. Make something happen. Tell him to turn traction off as well, Plugger. It will help his race. I agree there, Shifty. And if I had control, it would be different, but Tai has lost his force feedback. Oh no. I've had my wheel skits out a couple of times like that, and it is incredibly difficult to drive when you have no force feedback. You just have no idea what the car's doing underneath you, and it's just this complete, like, it feels light and not easy to race with that. So I hope that fixes it for him, fixes itself for him sometime soon. Otherwise we might see him dropping back a little bit, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I can see on from Yuki's point of view that Yuki has a big slide into that third last corner there. He did well to catch that. Has lost a little bit of time up to Chandler's, but hasn't dropped that DRS yet. So looks like he is fighting to stay on the back of that. Oh, G-Force Nick, what is going on here? G-Force has dropped all the way back down. He was doing really well up there, sort of few positions. I wonder if there's been some contact somewhere here, but does look like everyone's still got all of their end plates in this 3-car battle. Wouldn't be surprised there if these two medium runners of Dragon and G-Force are starting to feel the impact of having been on those medium tyres. Unfortunately, they just don't have very good life around here, and they're at about 9-10 laps each, and they will be wanting to feel that fresh rubber beneath them sometime soon.
Yeah, it's not really much changed much at the moment. Obviously, Steg's still sitting in that P4 position. Sam is right in the middle of that Mercedes big, juicy BLT sandwich there. But Chandler's and Jono, they seem to keep changing formation at the moment. Obviously, Chandler's going back in the lead. Ooh, lose a little bit of the rear there. But Jono will let him have this lap to continue. 22 laps out of 35. So far, so good. Clean race in Hungary. Calden doing his best, getting a bit of practice under his belt. But yeah, that's all he can do. Unfortunately, he is 22 seconds behind. But he's going to gain points for McLaren, which is the main thing. Don't retire, just keep going. G-Force Nick on those mediums. Are they starting to go off? Are they starting to hurt? That's the question.
Would you look at that as well, SJ? Yuki has been dropped out of DRS. So that's going to open the floodgates for Kalki and Alpha Gully to go flying past him down this next pit straight. That's going to be very interesting, and I think I'm going to jump on board Alpha Gully as he's shaping the move up. You can see he's pushed right up behind him, and I think we're about to see an on-track overtake.
Yeah, I think we are, but I think the Mercedes are also probably in engineering and trying to work together, trying to work out a way to get the McLaren out of there. Boys, he goes for the move there. No, you just can't fight against Gully. But Gully's got it all wrong, and he's going to go side by side.
He's outbraked himself.
Oh, is this going to be interesting?
He's got the inside.
Oh, he's gone too wide.
Oh, what a switchback there from both McLarens.
Oh, and he goes back there.
Oh, Alpha Gully's out. There's been contact between Kalki.
Oh, there's a massive accident.
Oh, no. Steg? Surely that brings out a safety car.
No, it doesn't. Steg is out of this race. What has happened there?
Wow.
Drama in this race.
Massive contact between Alpha Gully and Kalki.
Championship leader is out. This gives Jono a massive opportunity to pull that gap in on the leader as well. And also Chandler's, who has been fighting in the championship in that P3 position as well. So massive opportunity for these guys. They've already dropped Yuki and Kalki, but Mercedes will be running high on this with P3 and P4 sitting at the helm at the moment in them positions with those constructor points as it stands at the moment. Somehow.
Yeah, that's a big blow to the McLaren team there, and that was Marzi was saying he didn't want to happen. He just wanted them to bring it home. That was, I think that's the shock of Hungary so week, SJ.
Yeah, it's I'm shocked. I really am. I didn't think we were going to see much. But there's a big incident there. You can definitely tell for the onboard stewards to be looking at that, and that'll be one definitely to look at. But yeah, I don't think Gully can believe his luck there, and unfortunately, Calden has really struggled tonight as well. So at the moment, his advantage is Chandler's Jono and Yuki, and apparently Alpha lagged into you, Kelpie. Well, we'll have to wait and see what the onboard steward says there. Didn't seem like that Kelpie actually did anything. He just continued.
No, well, yeah, and that's the thing. Definitely on the outside of turn 4 there, and sometimes with that a little bit of lag. Just this fantastic contact model we have just strikes. And unfortunately, it's been our championship leader that has come off second best here tonight.
Dynasty, I'll let you answer your own question on that, mate. Why do you think that did not come out?
Sorry?
I'm saying I'll let Dynasty answer his own question on why that didn't come out. Because the game is crap.
Yep. I think also because of where it was, their Dynasty on the exit of turn 1, 2, 3, 4, there's a big lot of runoff there, and
my name.
The game.
Tudor read my mind.
Yeah, I think. I think he's speaking for everyone there, mate. But yeah, like I was saying, there's a big run area there and four. And sometimes if there's not potential for additional contact, the game just doesn't throw that safety car, which is a shock. And those medium runners from earlier have actually dived back into the pits and are on fresh rubber. So interesting to see the time differences. G-Force and Dragon both now are chasing down P and lost Yuki.
Jono's just got in the mode again in the P1 position, 26 laps out of 35. So we have 9 laps of racing remaining, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a very, very action-packed race. Losing Gully and Calden in Q2. Unfortunately, didn't make it into Q3. Then, unfortunately, having an incident there between Wojciech, Steg and Kalki on lap 25 out of this race. Calden now pushing into P13. Getting points, getting more points than his teammate tonight, and the championship leader, Jono, as it stands, and Chandler's will push on and will capitalise on these points moving forward, going into next week's race. Vegas! Oh, yes. Love that one. Love that one. Can I drive that one? I love Vegas. But at the moment, Jono and Chandler's in P1, P2, Yuki Bear in P3, Kalki in P4, Sammy in P5, Ferrari having a great night tonight in P1 and P5. So are Mercedes in P3 and P4. Haas as well in P6 and P11. Then we've got Tai. He's moved himself back up to P7. Having a very good race, 3.8 seconds behind Hado with that 3-second time penalty. We will stay P7 for the time being unless Midas Miller does catch up onto him. Watanabe, though, as well, doing another fantastic job there. P7 and P9 for Aston Martin. P8, P10 for Williams. We've lost Yuki down P10. G-Force in P11. Dragon in P12. His teammate of Chandler's in P1 tonight. And Calden, the solo McLaren, as WOG G-Force Nick, known as, goes quickest with a 1:15.947. So very quick lap there. And yeah, Chandler's now in the lead. Jono P2, Kalki P3. Kalki and Yuki, though, 2.5 seconds behind Jono. With 8 laps.
I think these boys have got a very solid P3-4 in the bag here. So they just need to work together now to stay away from Sammy and keep that Ferrari behind them as best they can, and then I think whoever's engineering these guys will be saying to them that whoever's leading further up in the championship than these boys will likely take the lead. Given that Yuki's reserving up, I'd imagine that they'll favour Kalki, but I'm also not a Merc engineer, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this is it's a fantastic result so far, and this has been the problem with Mercedes. Just been keep consistent. As Keldon has gone off. Look how filthy that car is, mate. Give it a wash. He's run to P13. He's had a spin there in sector 2. Not had the best of nights. Just get the car across the line, mate. Do not DNF. That would not be the night for McLaren that would need. Got no front left.
No, my next question though to Marzi is: did they bring enough front wings to Hungary this week?
Yeah, to be honest with you, not been the night, has it? Not been the night for McLaren tonight. So hopefully things change tomorrow for Zandervoort. Side gets another 3 seconds, and he's had a great night tonight. So at the moment, I'm looking at giving this to Sammy for driver of the day coming up very, very closely. I think Sammy's done a fantastic job. Nova the King, thank you very much. Welcome to the chat, mate. Let's give you a little bit. Let's give you a bit of a message, mate. Welcome. What about you coming up to driver of the day? What's your thoughts here?
It's tough, isn't it? Let me just have a look at the positions change. Look, I'm leaning towards Sammy, to be honest. Started P14, sitting in P5, up 9 positions. Yeah. Plugger makes a good point for Yuki Bear having stepped up a division. However, he got a good quali lap in towards there. He's not had to fight for too many positions here and there. Just sort of minimise his mistakes and stay with the leaders. Personally, actually, I think tonight my vote goes to Sammy.
Yeah, mine does.
On a track that's hard to overtake.
Yeah, mine does as well. As Dragon does get a drive through there. Sorry, 3 seconds. No, I didn't say that. Take no notice. He gets the 3 seconds.
It popped up right as Callan dived into the pits for me as well. That was.
God, I'm extremely hot, man. This is making me sweat tonight. 30 laps to go, 5 laps to go. Driver of the day vote is at the moment. So comms is.
Deacon, we're always looking for new members, mate.
Yeah, mate, get involved, get amongst it, mate. Press those buttons. Go.
I don't know if Dante can throw the link in there for you, or if it's in our description.
Just go straight to the chat, and then there you go.
There we go, Dante. Thank you, mate.
Josh, sorry, I'm just doing this now. Josh, Sammy, and right. So that's our vote, and I'm going to pin that, guys. There we go. Pin that message, guys. Get your votes in. Get your names in for DOTD. Go. Right, we haven't got long left of this race. 40 people still tuning in. Let's push it up for another 10 for the last 5 laps. Come on, let's get to the big 5-0. Let's get to the big 5-0 for Div 1. Jono leading the way with Chandler's. These two are going to be really fighting it on the last couple of laps because it's going to come to either DRS or it's going to come to who makes the mistake first. As Chandler's got 87%. Chano has got 60% of battery at the moment, and it's been a one-horse race between these two. They are 2.8 seconds behind Kalki. Kalki being investigated in the steward's room as well as we speak, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes as well. Sammy, though, 2.9 seconds. Can he get to the back of these Mercedes before the closing stages of this race? I do not think so, but we'll have to wait and see. I thought the Twitch stream were meant to be able to vote on a whole bunch of drivers. You can put as many names as you want, but we're just saying our 2 names at the moment. So who's put a prediction in there? Oh, there you go. Okay. I can't vote, so should have done a poll, but it's okay. We'll let that go. Whoever did that. Not just 2, but is that how you win driver of the day? You start at the back. might have to do that. No, it's not. It's just that we've seen Sammy's done really well. He's made his way through, and great job on debut back, and great job on Ferrari as well. I joined my Discord is Squexy Rate. Awesome. Thank you very much, Deacon. Really appreciate it, mate. Josh, are you there? Or have you disappeared again, my friend?
No, I'm here. I've just been enjoying listening to you
Talk rubbish.
yap away over there from New Zealand. So, no, I'm just enjoying the action, mate. I'm on board with Chandler's at the moment, and I think it's going to be 3 laps here because, as we know, P2 in this particular game is where you want to be in situations. So, on a track like Hungary, where it's difficult to overtake and it's hard to get past, Chandler's is actually sitting in the prime position. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens as we go through this, whether he's realised that and he's just biding his time, sitting behind Jono here, waiting to pounce as we go on to lap 35 with the DRS.
Definitely.
So I think things are about to heat up here, mate.
Yeah, they are. Come on, we've got 2 more to go from 50. Let's go. We've got 48 people tuning in. We are coming to the closing stages of this race, and I am sweating buckets. Jono in P1, Chana's in P2. Kalki and Yuki Bear are not going to catch these guys. They are 2.6 behind. They are pulling it in a little bit. 2.5. Let's look at the times there. Fastest lap, 1:16.6 for Jono, a 1:16.5 for Chandler's, and a 1:16.4. So Kalki is the quicker of the 2 guys in front of Chandler's and Jono, and Yuki Bear is the 3rd slowest in front of them as well. So can we see a last-ditch hurrah from the Merc at the moment? 2.7, I can't see it. Especially around a track like this. It's now going into 2.8 again. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. We get a little bit further down there.
Oh, it's Taitai has just pushed past Haydo.
Yes, but
Haydo's not going to be too worried about that. So unless Taitai's penalty can get removed, but time will tell. We'll leave that one up to the stewards, I think, tonight, mate.
Yeah, just have to wait and see how we go there. Dante, I've told you, subscribe. It removes the ads. You want to get rid of the ads? Subscribe. Here we go. We've got Lost Yuki. A few pens. There's just some penalties going there. 6 for Ty, 3 for Yuki, 3 for Nick, 3 for Dragon, 3 for Colden, and everyone gets points. That's it, Josh. Press that blue button. Not the red button for Sky, the blue button for subscribe. There we go. Right, here we go. 22 laps. Are we going to have some tyres going off? Are we going to have some battles going into the final stages of this race? I'll let Josh take a couple of laps because I love taking the last lap of this race, which is coming up very, very shortly.
And that is all yours tonight, mate. I am happy to pass that one on to you. My speaking voice hasn't done this much speaking in a long time, so I'm starting to feel it. I've been sipping on the water. So
the drama there. Jono and Chandler's nearly go into each other. Oh, obviously, Chandler's right behind. Nearly goes into the back of Jono. Got his braking points nearly all wrong there. That could have been curtains. Kalki and Yuki. Oh, we've probably a couple of attempts quicker now. It was right about 2.8. It's now 2.6. It was 2.5 when they were going into sector 1. Yuki Bear is just sticking with his teammate at the moment, and they are just pulling away from Sammy. Them 2 working together have pulled away from Sammy at the moment. Haydo will finish P6 though. Great job from Haydo. He's another one probably for a driver of the day.
Also stepped up, yeah. Absolutely. I'm just watching here, mate. Both Jono and Chandler's are both on about 90% battery each.
Here we go.
So this is going to be a battle of the ERS as we come into the final lap here, SJ, and I am very excited to see how this plays out in just a moment. Over to you. Take us away for this final lap of the Hungaroring for Division 1, Round 7.
Here we go. So, Jono moving over to the right. Needs to make the move done. Chandler's needs to get the job done. He's going to have to make the move. He goes to the left-hand side. Does he make the move? Jono tries to hold it. A little bit of braking there. Chandler's goes round the outside. Is there a little bit of a push? A little bit of a side-by-side action here between Chandler's and Jono. Chandler's switches back over to the other side. Jono holds his line. Chandler's fighting to get round that corner there. Really got the better grip there. Chandler's and Jono side by side up the hill. And along Alonso battle again. Now Jono takes the lead. It's going to be side by side. Look at this. He's literally right behind him, pushing him around into Sector 2. And it's, Sector 1. Sorry, I'm getting a bit far myself there. He doesn't go for the move there. Is he going to have one last ditch at this? Chandler's has done so well to hold the back of Jono. I am sweating buckets, ladies and gentlemen. It's literally a 10th in it between these two. It's been a fantastic race between the Alpine and the Ferrari tonight. Jono coming around the last corner. Oh, Chandler's gets a little bit to the left there. I think Jono's going to hold on. Can he hold on? That's going to be the question. Chandler's is there. I don't think he's going to get it on the last corner unless he's got something in that car. 30%, 27%. Chandler's still going. Jono coming around the last final corner. He's going to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Division 1, Round 7. Chandler's in P2. Kelky in P3. They are your top 3. Yuki Barra in P4. Sammy, what a drive from him in P5. Sammy will get your driver of the day. Tai Tai in P6 will lose that to Hado there in P6. So Tai Tai goes down to P7. Minus down up into P7 because Tai Tai with the pen. So Minus gets even more. Then lost Yuki. Then wants an AB who will cross the line. Then we're going to have G4 Nick there. And then we're going to have Dragon as well. And Calden. Massive round of applause for Calden. It was not the best of races at all, but he got it across the line and got points. So GG's to Calden. GG's to everyone. What a race. I am still sweating, but I feel like I've been swimming. What a night. Last final corner. Summary of your last final corner there.
We'll see if Dragon's going to get these last lap. No, I'm not. I don't know, actually. So, look, I'm looking forward to grabbing these boys into the comms box in just a moment. But what a race tonight, SJ. Lots of action throughout the race. Really unfortunate incident there between our P3 finisher tonight and our champion leader. So, be interested to watch what happens as those stewards see what happened and sort of analyse the footage and come up with a verdict. Who was at fault? Who caused that incident, or was it just this unfortunate lag that we seem to suffer throughout this game? SJ, we have a couple of these boys jumping in as we Williams session here. Jono taking the win over the rest of the field tonight.
Just getting the other guys in. We will be jumping on board with them very, very soon. Jono, Jake Attack, Kalki and Sammy, please jump into the comms box. And we will take our first interview, which will be with Sammy when he jumps in. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are your classification results. Jono and Chandler's and Kalki are your top 3. What a drive there between Jono and Chandler's. Kalki and Yuki, very consistent in the Mercedes. Sammy and Hado, then Midas, then Tai Tai, lost Yuki, Watanabe, G-Force Nick. Dragon get the fastest lap there. Then Calden, then Steg.
Oh, he did get it. Yeah.
Out of this race. Only one DNF in this race, guys. Fantastic job there at Hungary. And just waiting for Sammy to jump in as well before we do get on board with interviews. Sorry, I'll just send him this link. Hopefully he jumps in. Josh, first, before we go over to these interviews, while we're just waiting on Sammy, what was your thoughts of that tonight?
What a race. What a way to open up round 7 of our season tonight, SJ. As I said earlier, plenty of action right across the grid. That safety car to spice things up and give these guys a free pit stop. It kind of neutralises the strategy a little bit, but keeps all our drivers on playing field. Starting with a wet quali right through into a dry race. It's been fantastic, and like I said, what a way to open up our round 7 account for this week.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Really, really good to see going into obviously the beginning of the week. Very obviously unfortunate, it's obviously not to get the full grids, but that is what it is. And sometimes, like we've always said, that you can have some of the. I don't know why I'm going on race livery there. My apologies, guys. I keep thinking I'm racing. Going to get my helmet ready for tomorrow. Sorry, guys. My apologies. Obviously with it's always good to give full grid, but sometimes you can have the best racing, Josh, with just a little grid. I know it's not ideal, but
yeah,
great.
No, not ideal, but I think these Div 1 boys still delivered tonight. So I think we've actually got all of our our drivers in here now, SJ. So I'll hand it over to you and have a chat with our driver of the day, Sammy. Congratulations, Sammy.
Thank you all.
Sammy, welcome back in a completely different car, mate. Really, really good to have you in and driving with us. I think trial has been finalised, and you are definitely on the pace with Division 1. It has changed a lot probably since you last seen it, but yeah, give us a little bit of a heads up on tonight in the Ferrari at Hungary regarding Quali and the race.
Yeah, so Quali started out not too bad. And then my last run, I just hit the curb a bit too much in the chicane, and it spat me out. And then I was just stuck on the racing line, and I saw Koki coming through, so I was just hoping that he'd drive around me, but he just didn't have any warning to avoid me. And then I got a 5-place grid penalty for that. So I ended up starting last, but yeah, I think I got like 3 positions or something into turn 1 just by sticking in the inside line, and then just sort of made my way through, and yeah, the safety car sort of helped to avoid any undercuts with anyone else, but yeah, it was nice to just sort of, it was pretty much clean air running at the end, but yeah, it was still good to have a pretty clean race and good result for the Ferrari.
Yeah, absolutely. You turned your qualifying around beautifully in the race there, and that dive, well, not really a dive, but that solid move up the inside into turn 1 certainly set your race up for a good result. So congratulations to you today, mate.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no, great job. And obviously next week, Vegas. How do you feel around that track? Are we going to get another DOTD again, or are we going to even see you even higher?
Hopefully our quality a bit better. But yeah, I don't know. I've got doing Vegas for another league on Sunday, so
you'll be well and truly warmed up leading into Rush on Saturday.
Hopefully, that's the plan. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Can be a bit tricky, but hopefully it's all about DRS trains and positioning and stuff. But
exactly right, playing the smart game.
Yeah.
Oh, wishing you all the best, mate. Enjoy your week and your other, and we'll hopefully see you on the grid next Saturday.
Cheers, thanks, boys.
Yeah, no, well done, great job. All right, Josh, we'll go over to P3 tonight, which is unfortunate. You don't normally say this, but it is the Mercedes guys of Kalki. Over to you, Josh.
Thanks, SJ. Kalki, how are you, mate? How'd you find that race?
Good, yourself? Pretty disappointed as well, especially in qualifying with that Sammy incident, but love you, mate.
Yeah.
Thank God I didn't kill him as well. I'm just thankful not to get a 5th place.
Yeah, super unfortunate there. Take us through from your perspective what happened, because we weren't on board when it all went down, and we just we come back and there's carbon fibre all over the track.
Well, lucky for you, I've got it clipped right here. Basically, I'm coming for the corner. I start noticing the Ferraris starting to lose it. I try going to the grass, but then the car, it's just too little too late. The car spins basically on the rear, and yeah, just unfortunate there.
Yeah, really unfortunate race. Way to start your quali, and you were lucky to avoid your 5-place grid pen. But great result tonight, coming home on the podium. You said you're a little disappointed. What's caused that? You're up there with the top 3, so you're hoping for a bit more tonight.
On for a really good result, probably a win. But then Alpha Gully undertakes me under safety car, gets back to position, hits me, and then he overtakes me in the pit lane, which loses me a position. So there's a pen coming his way. But then also all the fake dive bombs on my teammate, and then him just cutting across me, and he never got his karma and DNF'd.
Yeah, it was a really big surprise there watching all of that unfold. I just hope that there was more lag than silly driving in there. A little bit of a connection issue there potentially, but you got away with that. You were lucky to get away with that unscathed, given that you're on the outside of that final corner. But solid result nonetheless, and obviously in that middle part of the race, once you'd lost DRS to the top 2, you and Yuki working together under DRS swapping just to keep you guys pushing along nicely.
Yeah, 100%. Good working together. We noticed that I had more pace in the middle sector, so good to have Yuki there as the Div 2 driver, getting up there, P4, and yeah, just amazing result as a team.
Yeah, absolutely solid for Mercedes this week. I'll pass you over to SJ, see if SJ's got anything he wants to chat to you about.
Always, mate. Obviously, a little bit of frustration here in the voice there, Kalki. Obviously, not enough speed in the end. Probably may have been a few laps, maybe, and we'll be able to catch obviously Jono and Chalmers tonight. And give us a little bit of an insight into quality because it was a really interesting night. Obviously, Q1 everyone was going to go through, which we saw. But Q2 just still people coming out on the inters looked like a dry track, but it actually wasn't. Give us a little bit of how close it was for quality because we only saw probably about a minute and a half before you guys could do one lap on those soft compound tires to set your time. So give us a little bit of an insight what the track was really like because for us it looked like it was all over the place.
Oh yeah, 100%. I accidentally went out on a wet set of tires at the start just to do a weather report. Found out it was Inter's weather, but the track rain stopped, and we were very decisive to see if we wanted to go into the Inters or the soft tires at the end. Luckily, we went to the softs and was able to get into Q3 as well. Good call from race engineer Pugger there as well. But ultimately, good driving from me and my teammate as well to get us into Q3, allow us a good position to start for the race.
Yeah, no, it was. It was really interesting and probably something that we've not seen here this season. That many of the big teams or big names go out very very easily in Q2. So give us a little bit of a heads up on what your thoughts were and obviously your team's thoughts when you saw both McLarens going out.
I'm gonna be completely honest. We were like laughing our asses off because like we were just so tired because after that Q1, them like full doing wet practice, we were just so tired, and then, like our first reactions were laughing, but we're like, okay, we got to focus on Q2 and really try. But yeah, those poor performances allow us to gain in overalls, a bigger gap on McLaren, and also a bigger gap in Div 1 to cut it down.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, hasn't it? That's been the problem lately with Merc and obviously McLaren. They both haven't had Division 1 drivers. Obviously, you didn't have the best of weeks last week. You got points, obviously, in the sprint, but in the feature. But this week, things completely changed. And you obviously must have thought, as soon as you saw those guys out and then the way you were qualifying at the top, you had a massive opportunity in getting big points this week. But then what did you feel like when you saw that Steg was only literally right behind you after the next safety car restart?
I wasn't too worried because he was behind me as well before the safety car, and a bit during before. But I was more worried, because I was keeping pace with the leaders and also gaining a bit on him. Obviously, it's hard to overtake in Hungary, so there's no need to burn ERS unless if you're defending, which most happen, but it was easy to recover. I wasn't too worried. The plan was like hopefully a tie time mistake, me and my teammate swap, and I can challenge the leaders. But unfortunately, he probably just hasn't read the rule book and overtakes me on a safety car, and can't really do that even with the tie time mistake.
Slam dunk. Slam dunk. It seemed tonight that you were involved in a few incidents. There was one in Quali which actually ended Hado. It's Q2 or Q3, I think it was in the end. I'm trying to remember. And then there was one with Sam. And then you had obviously the one with Gully. Can you give us a little bit of an insight to all three or all two or?
Well, with the one in qualifying in Q3, it was just it was hard to avoid because I was still drifting on the track and my car was still slowly going, and then I can't tell from Hayter's POV, from what it looks like from my POV, he goes to avoid Sammy, who was probably reversing on the track to get out of the way. But obviously it's hard to avoid two cars going that high of speed. And with the gully one, I think it's a bit of lag and also him thinking he cleared me, which obviously he didn't. On his screen, maybe, on my screen, he didn't. But inevitably, it just led to unfortunate for both of us, him a DNF, me losing leaders, and hopefully move on to next week. Better results, better driving, and hopefully a win finally.
I'm hearing a rival. Have you got is Steg your new rival?
Well, how far back on constructors? Obviously, Win would have been nice to do with his DNF. But yeah, probably like you obviously it's not really a rivalry. Obviously, me being like pretty far down in drivers, but missing a few weeks. But obviously, it's a guy to aim for. Obviously, if he keeps having weekends like this, or just having off weekends, then yeah, it could potentially be a rival. Obviously, it's a long season ahead. Not even at the mid-season break, but definitely a long season ahead. And hopefully, I can challenge him in the future or for the championship.
Yeah, no, I don't know, Josh. I don't know if you're hearing it or if you're hearing a little bit of conviction there in Kaki's voice towards
he's got the bit
McLaren.
between his teeth
Yeah,
tonight,
I can
mate.
hear it a little bit. It's like, damn you, McLaren. But no, great job, Kalki. Obviously, Vegas next week, a very, very different track. Obviously, high speed, strip, and the toe is obviously going to be very, very powerful there. How you feeling around Vegas for next week?
Yeah, I did well there in Div 2 last season. It's a pretty good track. Obviously, it's just a lot of DRS chicken, a lot of uh, who's got basically gets the better exits, whoever has DRS on the last lap. But there's also a bit of strategy as well. Hopefully, that comes into play, and yeah, it should be exciting.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, we'll hand over.
Looking forward to seeing you out there.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there, Josh. Didn't know you finished.
No, you're right. No, we're all good, mate.
Great job, Kalki, and look forward to seeing what you can do next week. And Josh, I'll pass you over to
Thank you.
P2.
And Liz, are you there with us?
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations on your P2 tonight, mate. What?
You completely cut out.
Oh no, I was just saying congratulations, and what was sort of coming into those last few laps there, sitting in P2 behind Jono.
Yeah, I mean it was good. It was a bit of a tight race, a tight track, obviously. So there's going to be a few desperate moves here and there. But towards the end, the goal was basically just set up Jono's rear end, waste as much ERS as possible, just sitting up his rear end, and then just get it back down the straight. So I'm just basically pressuring him and making sure the gap behind doesn't really close up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I even said to the I was flicking back between you two, and I think even coming on to lap 34 of 35, you were both sitting there with 100% battery. I'm like, oh, this is going to be spicy as we head into this last lap. And yeah, obviously Jono was managing his battery and aware of what you were trying to do, so it didn't quite unfold the way that you wanted it to tonight, unfortunately, but absolutely fantastic result in P2 there.
Yeah, thanks, man. The last lap was very intense. I had my engineer in my ear, and also I've got people over, so they brought their dog. And on the last lap, going through the last corner, the dog just starts like nibbling at my leg.
That's not what you need.
No. So my dad's ran in, and I'm trying to focus up, and I've just put a move around the outside, and yeah, unfortunately things didn't turn out too well. I mean, still held up right behind him, but I think Jono was just a little bit better today. He had a lot of pace, and his driving was very respectable.
Yeah, absolutely. We were saying actually that it was a very, very clean race for the most part. And despite the close battling, and like at some point there in those, it absolutely looked like you were even pushing Jono around some of those corners. So kudos to you for keeping it clean and bringing home some big points for Ferrari there this week.
Yeah, I drive for Alpine now.
Alpine.
Alpine, my apologies.
No, it's all good, man.
So used to that.
Driver.
Yeah, last season, I don't know, just a bit of a brain fart there for myself.
Quite stoked. P2 is my best result, best result here, so I'm happy with that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations. I'll pass you over to SJ.
Chandler's, mate. What a night. Probably some of the best racing I've seen you do, man. That was fantastic. Obviously kept it very, very clean. Last night, probably when you got maybe bit from the dog or tried to bite you, that's the reasons why you nearly went up to the rear of Jono. Because we did see you get very, very close. But no, fantastic. How difficult was it? Because it looked like you had the pace. I don't know if you were fast or if you were on the same, but there was a few corners there that were really pushing him around the track, and vice versa. But how close was it tonight between you and him?
I feel like we both were good in our like own respective ways. So I feel like on a push lap, I would be able to get the most out of the tire and get the most time. But on like ERS, like saving laps, he was a lot more consistent and he was able to put the car exactly where he needed to every lap, like lap after lap after lap.
Well, yeah, it was great. It was great. It was really good. It was action packed. There was a little bit of drama. Obviously, we saw the incident that happened earlier on in the quali. Then we saw the big accident between obviously Steg and obviously the Merc. And then obviously you battling with
Could I
Jono.
talk about the quali as well?
Yeah. Give us a bit of an insight because, like, for us, it was a big spanner in the works because we actually saw you go out and go onto the softs and was the first car to set to the time on the softs. And then obviously you dropped behind Ink, went out with a little bit more fuel, and then you managed to well, you were P1 and P2 when you crossed the line, but then obviously everyone else decided to obviously get better laps from you guys from that. So give us a little bit of insight what the situation was the quality because the weather just threw it all off.
Yeah, I mean, quali 1 was a little bit dicey. I saw on the weather radar I was going to get lighter towards the end, so I did some laps early on, and then I was thinking that I was just going to be fine with those laps because I was ahead for a while, and then
I do have to ask, did you realise that in Q1 that you could go through with just one lap?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I knew that I could go through with one lap. I just felt like doing a couple of extra ones. Bit of fun.
Yeah.
But also in Q2 with my accident with G-Force, I don't know if that got picked up on camera or if anything if that got like seen, but I was having some issues with my steering wheel.
Yeah, it was coming through the Twitch chat that you were having some issues. What was going on?
Yeah, so I went out start of Q2. I went out on mediums. No, inters, because I just wanted to see what the track felt like. And at the start, I felt like the inters would have been better, but I exited the pits. And since I think I changed like the IP or something inside of the game, so that my engineer could see a little bit more of my data while racing. It changed my steering wheel from being normal to having, if I can explain, it's like the radius. So having it turned like 45% in real life would turn 10% in the game. Then like 90 in real life would be like 120 in the game. So I had no steer, and then it would just max out.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so that lap I just had to trundle around back into the pits. And that's why I was like I was like dodging and weaving cars left, right, and centre. And I reckon I probably obstructed a couple of laps here and there, but I was trying my best,
It looked pretty clean I was on board with you. It looked pretty clean.
Yeah,
except
so
for that incident with G-Force.
Yeah, I made my way back in. Made the change back. Came out. It was still bad, and I just touched the throttle on the mediums, and it just spun right into the way of G-Force, and then I couldn't steer out of the wall for a while. So I had no control over it. It was just unfortunate, and if I cop a penalty, I guess I'll have to.
That's a bit unfortunate there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean...
But you got it fixed. That's the main thing, and you brought home P2. So
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, nice recovery there.
No, great job, honestly. Really good trade. And yeah, obviously some really big points as well for you. Obviously third in the championship standings at the moment, fighting against Jono, who unfortunately got the one on you tonight, and that's obviously two now. I think that Jono's got on the bounce. So Vegas next week, another battle between Jono, or are we going to see the return of the Mercs or the return of Alpha Gully?
I know Alpha Gully is very strong around a lot of the tracks. I feel like he got a little unlucky with the just like in Q2 when he set his lap, he was the first one, so the evolution kicked him out. But even so, he still clawed his way back, and I feel like it's going to be a tough battle between both of the McLarens, both of the Mercedes drivers, and me and Jono will probably be in the mix as well. So I reckon it'll be a good one next week.
Well, we're looking forward to it, mate. But no, congratulations on the P2. Fantastic night for you tonight and the Alpine guys.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks.
Right, last one of the night. This man, the double, Jono. This time, not a photo finish, so you can stop biting all your nails. What a night, mate.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I had to put that in there. I know it was a photo finish.
Yes.
I gave you a bit of the limelight tonight in the event. My little spills that I did, so I managed to get that up and running this week. So yeah, apologise last week, but what a night, mate. Give us a little bit of an insight in Quali and your race.
Yep. Well, I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised I got pole, to be honest, in qualifying. I was not expecting it because with me, qualifying's not my strong suit. I'm more consistent in the races, and that's what I rely on. So as long as I get top 5, I'm just happy. But somehow I got pole position. But yeah, that Q2 was interesting because I don't know if you were on me or not when I went out for my first soft run. I just couldn't catch grip, and the car would catch grip at the weirdest of moments and then lose it instantly. So like I had no time to react, and yeah, it was just not fun. So Q2 was kind of an outlier, but at the end I managed to pull in a lap. I just wanted to do a safe one just because uh I knew if I invalidated I would be out. But yeah, overall I think it went as good as it could, honestly. I'm very happy with the result. My Ferrari team principal is over the moon. Um and the race, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the battle with Chandler's. It was very clean, especially that last battle. um I think we made like the slightest of contact, but I'm pretty sure that was netcode anyway. um but overall I loved it, and I'm very glad I got my first win finally.
Yeah, no, obviously last week, unfortunately, I wasn't here, but I heard about it and I saw the photo finish as well, which is first time I've ever seen it in 7 seasons. A photo finish. I've done a photo finish with my friend, just messing around on theatre mode, but not in a proper competitive league race. So no, well done on that. Big points last week in the sprint. I think you finished P2 and then P1. And then obviously this week in P1, and we actually were on board with in Hungary. We could see that you were struggling across 3
Yeah.
curbs, and you were really pushing that car around. So yeah, probably very lucky to keep the car actually going into Q3 because it looked like you were going to bin it, unfortunately. And then the race
Yeah.
came to it, and absolutely fantastic. Some very interesting battles there, and some interesting places to like make overtakes, and you've got to make them clean. Especially in turn 1 and turn 2 and turn 3. If you're on the inside line, then you've got a better exit coming out of that curb, But then when it's coming up the hill going into turn 4, we've seen obviously Lewis Hamilton and Alonso there make some audacious moves, and you've got to time it to perfection. And going into the last lap, just how you felt. What was your thoughts? Because Chandler's was basically at your backside for most of this race tonight. You did pull away from the Mercedes by 2.8 seconds. Was it just hold on with ERS? Like, what was it? Braking at the right moments? Because it was pretty touch and go, literally on the start of the last lap.
Well, okay, so basically, on lap 34, so the second last lap, I knew that Chandler's would stay behind me because I turned my ERS on none, hoping that he would overtake me on the straight, so then I would have a go at him on the last lap. As soon as I saw him not overtake me, I knew what I had to do, so I kind of just saved my ERS the whole way. Just kind of saved the rears a bit more, so then they would be a little bit cooler for the final lap. Sector 1 and Sector 2, I was just keeping the rears nice and cool, so then I could push. Yeah, it was very scary, I should say, especially to keep your composure in that type of driving, especially around Hungary, where you can only overtake like 1 or 2 spots. That's about it. And then there's one spot where you have to dive bomb someone, but I'm glad he didn't do that. But overall, this race was I'd say it kept me on my toes a bit because I knew that, especially when I was in front and Chandler's would overtake me, I had to make sure I had that gap to P3 so then they wouldn't overtake me. Otherwise, I would have been out of the chance to win. So it was just a very touch and go race, I guess.
Well, it's a great job, and I'm going to say I think you've started to get noticed because I know you're in other leagues now, which is great to see. It's great to see you in the practice under your belt. But you're doing for it's been great to have you here. I think this is like your fourth or fifth race now, or maybe fourth race, and second in the championship, mate. And big points lost for McLaren tonight, and big opportunity for you to now pull in that gap with Gully going in Vegas. How are you feeling about that race?
Vegas, I'm surprisingly for some, I find the track very boring, but I'm pretty decent at it. It's just a DRS train. It's just like Hungary, really. But honestly, I feel like I can put up the challenge to Alpha Gully for the championship, but I feel like I've missed too many rounds in order to do that. So if I started when it did start, I probably I would definitely I'll definitely be closer, but I think I can take the challenge to him. I'm hoping that he makes a few mistakes because I am very consistent in the races. Like, this is not me blowing smoke up myself, but I am quite consistent. Around each track, I'm decently fast, so I'm just hoping that I can put the challenge to him, honestly, every single race. Try to force him into mistakes.
It's 10 races to go, Jono. Even more than that. It's only round 7, mate.
I know.
God, relax.
I know, but
confidence, mate. Confidence.
I know.
Confidence.
I have confidence, but I'm more of a realist, so I don't know.
Anything can happen in F1, mate. Anything can happen. You know, like the guys. Some guys are used to short seasons. We do the whole bang. You know, we do the whole shebang. You know, we do a long season. Unfortunately, Division 1's different to the rest of the divisions this season because they wanted 18 races. So we've given them the benefit of the doubt. We've given the benefit of the doubt with the calendar as well. So all the tracks that are coming up are all your favorite ones, hopefully. And it's going to be a great battle, you know. Another race like this in Vegas, and you get another one, and he gets another DNF. I'm not saying that out loud because Marzi will kill me. But you know,
It's been nice staying you, SJ.
It's 50 points, mate. 50 points in 2 races. You've got to be happy with that.
Yep. Honestly, I'm over the moon, honestly, and I really hope I can take the title battle. And if I do win the title, I will probably. I don't know, run on my street naked or something, holding my steering wheel.
We don't need any footage of that, please.
No,
please share that on TikTok. Please share that.
I'll do a POV. I'll do a POV, so you can't see me, but just know,
we'll know.
Well,
we'll know the truth.
124 points pending, obviously. Incidents and stuff, as we've seen that Gully was involved in an incident tonight and maybe one in the pit lane. 124. And with you, pending any incidents, 95 points. That's it. That's all it is.
Well, you know what? I may be able to take the title up to him. Yeah, I
want to see him running
I'll
naked.
Take it back, okay?
I want to see him running naked.
Yes.
Anyway, enough about me.
You're just getting drunk first. Less embarrassment for you that way.
I'll pass you over.
Oh, mate. Look, I think we've covered everything tonight, mate.
Yep.
What a quality, and we've covered our championship battle. So again, just massive congratulations. So glad that you're here racing for Rush, and looking forward to seeing how your championship unfolds over the next half of the season and next week in Vegas.
I'm really hoping to bring that title battle. I'm just letting you know. So
excellent. Looking forward to watching it.
Yes, sir.
All right, mate. Well, thank you very much. I think that just about wraps us up for tonight, SJ, with our Division 1 at the Hungary Ring.
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Really good night. I don't normally make digs on stream, but I don't like DMs being sent to me. Yes, unfortunately, there was only 14 on the grid, and it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but we can't obviously help it with obviously people that don't show. But unfortunately, it's quite interesting to hear that the biggest league out there gets less viewers than us with 14 on the grid. So take that shot back, and we'll see how many views you get next week compared to our 48 to your 40 or 28 when you've got the best grid in the world on the grid, apparently. So I don't like digs, but I don't like DMs coming to me saying, oh, why is there only 14 people on the grid? Well, because people don't show up, unfortunately, and unfortunately, the Money League took half of the drivers. But we won't talk about that for much longer. But Josh, no, what a great night it was, mate. It was fantastic. It had action. It had drama. We saw the championship leader go out of a race, which we've seen before. We've seen it with KLX. We saw an incident with Campbell Adams last season in Canada. It does happen, but there is still plenty of races. And obviously, I think Jono has just realised that there is still quite plenty of races, and he probably didn't even understand on how close the gap was between him and Gully. And obviously, last week that sprint race, obviously 8.7 points that he got, and then he's got 25 that week, and then 25 this week. That's 50 points. So 124 to 95. Do you think Jono can do it? Do you think he's going to put the pressure on a Gully, or do you think it might be a little bit too much for him?
I'm not going to go either way at this point in time. They've got 11 races left before we wrap up for the season. And who knows? They could get sick. They could not race. There could be incidences like there were tonight that change it all. So I think at this point in time, it's anyone's game. But yeah, I guess we'll wait and see, watch and see what happens.
Yes. Thank you very much for everyone tuning in tonight through the podium winners of Jono, Chandler's and Kalki, and our driver of the day, Sammy. Congratulations to Ferrari. A big night for them in P1 and P5. So fantastic to them. Big up to our sponsors as well. Our main sponsor, AI369, ready to launch very, very soon. We'll get the date. As soon as I know more information, I will send it out to you. Also, feel free to follow our other sponsors as well of Pagnium. Remember, get on board that code if you're wanting any sim gear across the whole of sim gear. Sponsors, as in Next Level, Moser, Fanatec, Thrustmasters, the whole shebang. Get amongst that. Then you've also got SimLab as well. They do pedals, cockpits, and other bits and pieces, and a very, very, very flash Mercedes wheel, I've got to say. And then we've got our last one of New Zealand only Speed Nation as well. So if you are a Kiwi and you want to get some involved in sim gear, please give me a DM and I will send you the code. Josh, thank you very much for jumping in board of the comms box. We don't normally see this man in the comms box often, but we probably will see him more. But thank you very much for tuning in and jumping in with me tonight.
My absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for having me, and looking forward to having Andy back once he's finished the move next week.
Yes, no, we do miss the old Andy Owen. But thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in tonight. Big shout out to our followers of Deacon, Nova King, Hype Train from everyone. Background check there. We got another Hype Train. Thank you very much for all the subs there from Marzi and Panic, our most loyal subscriber. I don't know. I haven't got a word for it.
Gifters.
Kisses, Formula Joshi, IRT Calden, Slow Oxford, and QT December. Thank you very much. If you do want to race these guys in Division 1, then feel free to get on board our Discord and also follow all of our socials across TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also Twitch and Discord. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have more people on the grid. Love to have more people battling against people like Jono and people like the other guys that have won the podium tonight. There'll be more action tomorrow night. Don't forget, it is Zandvoort, a completely different track. We do not know what's going to happen there. Mixed conditions, very similar to Hungary, I've got to be honest. A little bit of action where bumper to bumper, but then also a lot more places to overtake than Hungary. So back with fully quali, and that will be first up with Division 4 tomorrow, and I'm sure you'll be tuned in by the Dido Meister of the Williams TP and Crazy Good Through, and then also with Division 2 you will be with probably Regas, and maybe Dido will be doing the double header. But until then, thank you very much for tuning in, and will Jono catch Gully? See you next time.